My name is Lian. I want to explain about CareShield Life that is going to be introduced in the year 2020. Let me start with a little joke. A Singaporean was admitted to hospital. He had to cut off a leg due to gangrene caused by diabetes. The following morning after the surgery, he woke up and the surgeon was at his bedside, and the surgeon said, "I have good news and bad news." The patient said, "Okay, give me the bad news first. We cut off the wrong leg." The patient was shocked, but after he recovered, he said, "Okay, what is the good news?" And the surgeon said, "You are covered under CareShield, and maybe you can make a claim under CareShield as well." Now, what is CareShield? It is an insurance to provide long-term care to help pay for the expense of staying in a nursing home or to employ a full-time nurse to look after the patient in his own home. Now, CareShield is to cover severe disability, and in order to make a claim, the claimant has to satisfy the condition unable to perform at least 3 activities of daily living. The policy, the insurance scheme, define 6 activities, and the claimant must be unable to perform at least 3 of them. The 6 activities are washing, dressing, feeding, toileting, transferring, and moving. Now, washing means you can't bathe yourself. Dressing means you can't put on your clothes. Feeding means you can't feed yourself. Toileting means you can't go to the toilet by yourself. Transferring is to transfer from the bed to a chair. And moving is to move from one room to another. Now, you have to be severely disabled that you can't handle at least 3 of these activities, and you need the help of somebody, possibly a nurse. Now, this long-term care severe disability is not the same as making a claim for loss of income due to inability to work. For example, if the insured person is totally blind, he can't work, he can't make a living, but he still can't make a claim under CareShield because he is able to perform the activities of daily living, and he can't satisfy the requirement, unable to perform 3 or more of these activities. Next, I want to talk about CareShield. Now, CareShield has been operating for about 15-20 years in Singapore. How is this different from CareShield? Well, CareShield is similar to CareShield, except for the following difference. Now, first, what is the same? CareShield is covering also 3 activities of daily living. Is covering severe disability. The criteria is the same. Now, what is the difference? CareShield pays $400 a month to a successful claimant. CareShield pays $600. CareShield is payable for a maximum of 6 years. CareShield is payable for a lifetime. Of course, the premium for CareShield is slightly higher by about 15%, 1/5. Now you can see the benefit payable by CareShield is 50% higher in the monthly payment and payable for a longer period. So the benefit is worth more than 50%, but the premium is 15% higher. So that's the difference. The other difference is ElderShield is voluntary. You are allowed to opt out. CareShield is compulsory. All the people under a certain age required to join CareShield. Next, I will explain what is MediShield. Now, MediShield has been operating for more than I think 30 years. Now, MediShield pays for the cost of hospital treatment. You are admitted to a hospital. The hospital bill for the surgery and for the staying in the hospital are covered under MediShield. Of course, they are subject to certain limits and caps, and the patient has to pay the deductible and a co-insurance. It's very complicated, but the idea is a large part of the big medical bills are covered under MediShield, and the patient pays the rest. So that's the MediShield is therefore to pay hospital bills for staying in the hospital. It also covers some outpatient bills for treatment of cancer, dialysis, and a few other severe chronic illnesses. Now, the MediShield, the current version is called MediShield Life, is compulsory. So every Singaporean and permanent resident is required to be insured under MediShield Life. The new CareShield Life, which is going to be introduced in 2020, is also compulsory. It's compulsory for people who are 40 years, 30 to 40 years in 2020. All of these people have to join CareShield Life, and then those below 30 are required to join when they reach age 30 in the future. So CareShield or CareShield Life is also compulsory for people born after 1980. This will be people who become 40 years old in 2020. So those born before 1980 are not required to join CareShield Life, but they can opt to if they wish. So it's only compulsory for people who are born after 1980. Now, why compulsory? Well, the government wants basically for the healthy to subsidize the unhealthy. Well, it means that everybody has to pay the premium, but only those who are severely disabled will make a claim. But then we all know, most of us, when we get very old, the risk of being severely disabled applies to everybody. So we are not sure that the healthy people will continue to be healthy when they are very, very old. So this is why it's compulsory. Furthermore, the government does not want someone to say, the young people to say, hey, I am healthy now, let me wait until I'm older, then I will join CareShield. So they want every person to join at the age of 30. Now I want to talk about what are some of the flaws I see in CareShield Life. First, we have got two schemes to cover medical expenses. We have MediShield and now we have CareShield. Many ordinary people are confused. Why two schemes? Why can't we have them merged into one scheme? After all, they are covering poor health. In fact, I met two elderly person at a bus stop. They recognized me. "Oh, you are Mr. Tan." I said, "Yes." Then they asked me, "Why do we have MediShield and CareShield?" It's very confusing, and I think this probably applies to many people who don't quite understand what is the difference and why do we need two schemes. Another flaw is one scheme is pre-funded. CareShield is pre-funded. Now what this means is you pay a premium up to age 67. You stop paying after that because you have paid all the premium and you are covered for life after that, fully covered for the rest of your life. So it's called pre-funding. But MediShield is not pre-funded. You are required to pay the premium for as long as you live. Even if you are 95, you still have to pay a premium. And furthermore, the premium for older people can be very, very high. So MediShield is not pre-funded, but actually there is there's some element of pre-funding. When you are young, you are required to pay a premium more than the actual claim. So some of the extra premium is kept, and this can be used to reduce the premium for when you get older. So this is called pre-funding. Now the other flaw is the CareShield Life pays $600 a month, and most people know to stay in the nursing home you probably have to pay about $2,000 a month, and to employ a nurse at home the cost will also be more than $1,000. So the benefit payable by CareShield is not adequate to meet the actual expenses, but then okay, so this is one of the flaw. Another flaw is the premium charged too high? The reason is during the 4 years of ElderShield, a total of $2.6 billion was collected, and the claim paid was only $100 million. So the ratio is 26:1. So are we paying too much premium and getting too little benefit? The government says, the premium that you pay for claims in the future. Even so, this ratio seems to be too high. That means too much premium for too little claims, and many people suspect that the ElderShield and now the CareShield scheme will be making a lot of profit, and I think possibly the premium is calculated based on a quite conservative assumption on the claims. So again, this is I consider one of the flaws. Many people are thinking that the premium is too high relative to the benefit. Now I shall talk about what is my preference. If I were to advise the health minister, if he wants to listen to me, this is how I would organize this health insurance scheme. First, I will combine ElderShield and MediShield into one scheme. We should not confuse people with two different health-related schemes. We combine them into one scheme. Second, the deductible for MediShield currently is at 1,000 or 1,005. Is too high, and I will reduce the deductible to $500, so that more people will find $500 to be affordable. 1,000, 1,005 is too high, and that's why they have to buy this supplementary rider to cover the deductible. I would reduce the deductible to $500. I will operate the schemes on a not-for-profit basis. That means nobody will suspect that the scheme is making profit to benefit the private insurance companies. So it should be run by the state, by the government, on a not-for-profit basis. I would charge a premium based on the actual claims year by year. Of course, the premium will still be differentiated by age band. That means the older people make more claims and they have to pay more premium. But it will be the premium year by year, and the premium should be much lower than what is done through this pre-funding. With pre-funding for CareShield and for MediShield, many people are paying premium much higher than what the actual claims are. So I will base the premium based on the actual claims in each year. I will also advise the government to give a 30% subsidy, which means the government will pay 30% of all the claim costs, and only 70% is shared by the people insured under the scheme. I will make a scheme voluntary, which means if you don't wish to join the scheme, that's fine. But if you wish to join the scheme, you are benefiting first from the government subsidy, and then you are also benefiting for a scheme operated on a not-for-profit basis. And finally, I will ensure that at least the hospital claims under MediShield are properly controlled. Now, we don't want the hospital or the doctors to charge extremely high fees for treatment, and currently MediShield only pay up to certain limit. The rest is payable by the patient. Under my proposal, all the hospitals claiming under MediShield, there will be control over the amount that they can charge, and it will be fully paid by MediShield, subject to the deductible, but the rest is fully paid. And maybe the patient has to pay 10 or 15% of the excess bill, but they don't have to worry about which items are not covered, because all the charges will be covered by MediShield. Now I want to talk a bit about how does MediShield control the charges. The concept is the government shall approve certain facility, hospitals and doctors. So if you want to be approved under MediShield or CareShield, you have to agree to follow certain rates which can be negotiated every year. adjusted according to what the fair rate should be, and everybody all the hospital who want to participate in the scheme have to follow this schedule of rates. This system is used in Japan. Japan, every year the Ministry of Health negotiate with the doctors and the hospitals on what are the rates to be paid for each kind of treatment. We can do the same in Singapore and make sure the medical bills are reasonable and not excessive, and this will be fully covered under CareShield, subject to a low deductible and a co-insurance of 10 or 15%. So if the facility, the medical facility, don't agree with the fees, they don't join the scheme, they can still serve private patient. But those who join the scheme, when they bill to CareShield, they have to follow these agreed rates. Now, my final point is about for people who are born before 1980. These are the older people. Many of them have already joined CareShield. Do they convert to CareShield Life? And the answer, my advice is yes, do go ahead. The reason is CareShield Life pays, the benefit is 50% higher, 600 instead of 400 a month, and payable for life. So the benefit is at least more than 50% higher, and the premium that you have to pay for CareShield Life, from what I saw in the preliminary paper, is 15%, 1-5. So it means if you move from ElderShield to CareShield, you pay a little bit more, but you get very much more in terms of benefit. So my advice is yes, go and convert. What about those who have opted out of ElderShield? Do they move to CareShield Life? This part I'm not too sure. We have to see what is the premium that you have to pay for your age. Then we have to see whether it's worthwhile to be insured under CareShield Life or to just stay out uninsured. That means you are self-insured. You're insuring by yourself. So this is my brief comment. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that you find it useful. Goodbye.